Bavaria, Germany, lies a village steeped in tragic history, Hinterkaifeck. It is a name that sends a chill down the spine of anyone who has heard its tale, a story wrapped in eerie mystery and unsolved violence. The Hinterkaifeck farmstead, secluded deep in the forest, became the site of one of the most chilling murders in German history. Yet, it wasn't just the brutal killings that cast a shadow over this place. For years before the crime, there were whispers of something far darker at work, a curse that would descend upon the family who lived there. The nightmarish events that unfolded on the farm, involving the brutal slaying of 6 family members, are well documented. However, what remains unexplained is the string of strange occurrences that preceded the murders. The eerie sounds, the eerie sightings, and the dreadful unease that lingered at Hinterkaifeck for years, all of these factors have led to a terrifying conclusion. Hinterkaifeck was cursed. But what exactly was this curse, and how did it affect the people living there? To understand this, we must dive into the history of the farmstead, the family that lived there, and the dreadful events that transpired. Chapter 1. The Family of Hinterkaifeck. The Gruber family, Andreas, his wife Cecilia, their daughter Victoria, and her 2 children, 7-year-old Cecilia and 2-year-old Joseph, lived on the remote farmstead. Their lives were seemingly ordinary, though surrounded by dense forests, the family grew accustomed to the seclusion. In fact, the farmstead was already known to be isolated and difficult to reach, making it a place where outsiders rarely visited. The nearest village, Grobern, was several miles away, and the only way to reach the farm was by an isolated path through the woods. Yet the Grubers had a reputation for being a little strange. Andreas, the father, was known to be a harsh, secretive man, while his wife, Cecilia, was often seen as a frail and reclusive woman. Their daughter, Victoria, was in her late 20s and had a son, Joseph, from a previous marriage, as well as a daughter, Cecilia, who was only 7 years old. There were rumors that Andreas had a strange relationship with his daughter, Victoria, something that would be confirmed later, but it was the strange occurrences around the farm that made the family truly stand out. Chapter 2. The Strange Occurrences. Long before the brutal murders, strange things began to happen at the Hinterkaifeck farm. The Grubers were not the first to experience such unexplainable phenomena. Neighbors in nearby villages had noticed unusual things surrounding the farm. Some spoke of strange lights in the woods near the house at night, while others claimed to hear disembodied voices echoing through the trees. But the most unsettling events happened within the farm itself. It began innocuously enough. The Grubers would hear footsteps in the attic above their home, despite no one being there. The sounds were not those of an animal or even the wind. They were unmistakably the steps of a human. This unsettling presence became more pronounced as time went on. Andreas, in particular, seemed to take notice of these sounds and began to become more paranoid. One night, he decided to investigate. He climbed into the attic, but he found nothing. No person, no animal, nothing. Yet, the sounds continued. Soon, other strange things began happening. Tools went missing and were later found in odd places. The barn doors were mysteriously open, and animals would be found wandering outside their pens. On one occasion, the family dog was found dead, seemingly having been strangled. These strange events became a regular part of their daily life. Chapter 3. The Unseen Presence. The Unseen Presence. As the bizarre occurrences continued to escalate, there was growing suspicion among the Grubers that someone or something was haunting the farm. However, no one could explain the strange events. The locals were skeptical, attributing the mysterious happenings to superstition and the remoteness of the farm. But Andreas grew more and more concerned. He installed new locks on doors, attempted to secure windows, and even sought out the help of a local blacksmith to reinforce the barn. But despite his efforts, the events persisted. Victoria, the daughter, began to behave erratically. She reported hearing whispers in the walls and became convinced that there was someone hiding in the attic. She also became more withdrawn, and rumors began to circulate that something darker was going on at the farm, perhaps something more sinister than simple paranoia. It wasn't long before a neighbor named Lorenz Schlittenbauer noticed something strange. Schlittenbauer was a farmer from the nearby village who had known the Grubers for years. One day, as he passed the farm, he saw footprints leading from the barn into the woods, but none leading back. He decided to investigate, but when he entered the farmstead, the house was eerily silent. The animals were agitated, and it seemed as though something was amiss. Lorenz reported his findings to the local authorities, but nothing concrete could be done. No one suspected the extent of the impending horror, and the Grubers remained isolated, their curse gradually deepening. Chapter 4. The Murders. Then came that fateful night in March 1922. After several weeks of unsettling events, the Grubers were found brutally murdered. It was as though something had snapped. Andreas, Cecilia, Victoria, her 2 children, and the maid, Maria Baumgartner, were all found dead. They had been brutally hacked to death with a pickaxe. What was perhaps the most chilling part of the entire event was the fact that the killer, or killers, had stayed at the farm for several days after committing the murders. The authorities later discovered that the killer had been hiding in the attic for days, living among the dead. The murderer ate meals with the family, tended to the animals, and even used their belongings as if nothing had happened. The brutality of the murders and the unsettling calm with which the killer operated left investigators dumbfounded. The case was never solved, and the legend of Hinterkaifeck only grew stronger. Some speculated that the family had been cursed, while others believed that the strange happenings on the farm were a result of hidden familial tensions. Was there something more at work? Had the curse taken its toll on the Gruber family? Chapter 5. Theories and Explanations. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged to explain the tragic events of Hinterkaifeck. Some investigators pointed to the family's complicated relationships, suggesting that Victoria's father, Andreas, may have been involved in an incestuous relationship with his daughter. Others theorized that the murderer could have been a local who knew the family well, perhaps someone they trusted. The most disturbing theory, however, was that the family's strange experiences had been caused by a supernatural force, an unexplainable curse that had haunted the farmstead for generations. Some believed that the land itself was cursed. Hinterkaifeck had been built on land with a long history of strange events. In the years before the murders, several families had lived on the property, all of whom met untimely and mysterious deaths. Was the land itself the source of the family's downfall? Others point to the strange occurrences that led up to the murders, suggesting that these were not the product of human action, but rather the result of something more sinister. Was it a ghostly presence, or was it a manifestation of some ancient curse that had finally come to fruition? Chapter 6. Conclusion. For many, Hinterkaifeck is a symbol of the danger that lurks in the darkness, a place where the lines between reality and the supernatural blur. But the true question remains, was the Gruber family truly cursed, or did they simply fall victim to a tragic sequence of events? Whatever the answer may be, the legacy of Hinterkaifeck will continue to haunt the world for years to come. The cursed farmstead, forever shrouded in mystery, stands as a chilling testament to the fact that some places are better left unexplored. We hope you enjoyed this video. But here's a question. Why haven't you subscribed to our channel yet? Your one like and subscribe give us the motivation to create even more engaging videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts! Head to the comments section below and tell us, which part of the story gave you chills or made your heart race the most? Your feedback means the world to us.